Hello, everybody. Hey, Sinistello. All right, it's Wednesday. I know I originally said last week that the stream schedule would return to normal as of Monday of this week. It'll actually be as of Thursday of this week. So today's Wednesday. And yeah, I'd planned on doing an afternoon stream, but that won't happen today. So I'll stop after the morning. It'll probably be a repeat of what happened yesterday with one caveat. There is going to be a launch date by the end of today. And probably by the end of like 10 minutes from now. So Adam is still prepping for launch and closing out miscellaneous tasks. He is only going to stream in the morning today. Yeah. All right. Well, this is here. This is important. Let's take a look at the calendar. So I was thinking a Tuesday in March, which leaves the 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th, 31st. Hey, Pretzel. Wake early because I had a long nap yesterday. Ah, the long nap. My wife took a long nap yesterday, and I actually didn't ask how she slept. I wonder if it was the same general thing that she got up early. Hey, who cares? Howdy, howdy. All right, so launching on Steam, things to know, or like choosing a launch date on Steam. Skella Celery for some reason. You can change the release date up to 2 weeks prior to your specified date. Once you're in that, your game will start showing up more in upcoming. I want to know if there's any advice on this, because I've heard things like, oh, only launch on a Tuesday or whatever else. I don't know how much this matters. This is from 10 years ago, so this probably... Don't release around big events. Don't release the same date as a big release title. Don't release on a Monday or Tuesday. Don't release midsummer. I find this funny, because even if this is correct, it's like, when should you launch then? Like, I guess you pick a random Friday where there's no big events, but this was 10 years ago. 10 years later, now we probably have big events pretty much all the time. Hey, Pickle, where do you get Tuesday from? I thought that was a good day to launch, so I don't know. Other than avoiding the summer sale, summer's a much better time to release. Don't release near or during big sales. All right, let's look up the Steam sales 2026. I don't have any deep reasoning. Yeah. 2025 to 2026 calendar. Did they mention sales on here for 2026? Key dates at a glance. Tower Defense Fest, March 9 to 16. Spring sale, 19 to 26. Let me take a look at these. All right, 9 to 16 is this entire time. I think the 17th is it. I think we picked the 17th. It's right in between the sales. Or the fest and whatever. Yeah, I think I'm just going to pick it. Okay, well, let's hope that was a good idea. All right, so let's read this. March 2026, 9 to 16 is Tower Defense Fest. And 19 to 26 is the spring sale. The other thing we could try to do is target earlier than the 9th. I don't know if that's a good idea, because that would basically give us almost exactly 2 months. Let's say I targeted like the 5th or something. Yeah, we get about 2 months. Worst sleep last night because of my 7-year-old nephew. Usually let them sleep with me whenever I go over. Doing pretty good the past week, but last night he was kneeing me and crushing me. Oh, no. Can you catch up today? Can you just take the day off and sleep? Hey, Chef Alton. Due March 24th. Well, that's in the middle of the spring sale. I don't know how much that's going to impact things. And then Home Fest. The other thing is Slay the Spire launches in March. I don't think it's a similar audience necessarily. Yeah. I think I'm going to pick the 17th. I want to look up just a couple more things. When's the best time to release a game on Steam? Do they say the day of the week here? Do you need to avoid seasonal sales? Do you want to launch with a discount? Do you want to feature in a seasonal sale after launch? Setting your launch discount duration to extend into the sale. If you don't want to launch with a discount. I think the 17th is probably good. Most common day for release. What do these colors mean? Quietest days for releases. I don't know how important it is to actually follow any of this advice. Like, statistics show one thing, and it's probably worthwhile to consider some of this. Like, people are probably going to play the game on the weekend, but it is a casual game that I'm making, so maybe people will play it during the week. I think I'm just going to pick the 17th. Yeah, darker is more common. Friday, Saturday. Which means Monday and Sunday are bad choices. Yeah, I'll pick the 17th. I think that's good. You either get lucky or not. You did your part. Yeah, hey, Andrews. All right, let's go set this on Steam so that I have this visible for everybody. I have to do this off stream, but it should be pretty fast. So actually, if I go to the main page, it says release date Q1 2026. I don't need to set this for the demo, right? Yeah, no, I don't. I just go to the main game. All right, this should be pretty fast then. Oh, I had it set to March 10th. I'll just change it to March 17th. And then the time that we want to release it? That's a good question. I think when I start the stream, right? Like 8:30? Let's say 9 a.m. Public display date, March. Update. Prepare for publishing. View diffs. Give me a sec, this is almost done. Just taking its time. There, publish. Okay, so now it should show up. So this previously said Q1 2026. Now I refresh. It says March 17, 2026. We have a launch date. Yeah. If the 17th ends up being great, I take full credit. If not, it was your idea. And hey, I'm all back. Okay, so let's put that in the Skeleseller FAQ now. Where is the Skeleseller FAQ? Game? Yeah, here it is. Okay, when is it launching? March 17th, 2026. Right? Yeah. Time to crunch now. Hey, Smash. And is there anything on the itch page talking about a launch? Oh, this is not what I meant to go to. Skeleseller. What? It's not showing up. It's not popular enough. Is there a launch date in here? No. More information. No, because as far as itch is concerned, this is a full game. Can I edit this to do something and talk about a launch? I guess we'll just say payments. I think this is worth putting here. Yes. What kind of AI generated content is used? Text, code. I got to do that on Steam too. I think we have that somewhere. Yeah, I don't know where we write in here that when this is launching. I'll just write it here. Launch. Skeleseller will launch on March 17th, 2026. Until then, this page is just for the demo. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll just save that. You have a company that the revenues will go to? Yeah. Yeah, it's called Xtonomus. And that's why in the game credits menu, you'll see, oh, not there. Xtonomus. And actually, it's on the Steam page too, I think. Yeah. I don't know why Botland doesn't show up here. Maybe because it's not on Steam anymore. Anyway, yeah. I made the company back in 2015, I think. All right, well, launch date decided. So now we're just going to do some miscellaneous tasks. This one is pretty simple. Intro, accept quest. We have the, where is it? Available action indicator right there. I want to get this thing. Actually, how would I do this? I think we put this in here. This is in animated sprite 2D. All right, let's reload. Available action indicator equals just get node. Cool. And then this dot animation dot finish. Is there a finishing? There it is. Animation finish plus equal this dot stop. Or wait, no. What am I doing? I could just turn off auto repeat. Auto. There's play loop, I think. Oh, come on. What do you call this? It's that right there. Animation looping. This doesn't even have animation looping set. Because it's in its own scene? Yeah, there it is. What is this property called, though? Animation looping. Animated sprite 2D Godot. Are you kidding me? Where do you control where this thing loops? Oh, it's in the sprite frames? And I can't change the sprite frames? That's probably what's going on. Yeah, sprite frames. We need to get the animation, and then we need to get animation loop or set animation loop. If I duplicate this, it should be fine. I probably already did duplicate it. Why can't I check that? Maybe we just say make unique. There, done. Easy. No need for code change at all. Okay, so now if we go watch the intro. How do I do that? Feature flags is debug false. All right, this might be subtle. So what happened before is that the exclamation mark would show up, spin, go away, then show up again really fast and then disappear completely. It shouldn't show up the second time now. So I just click new game, we'll see this. It's not in this scene, it's in the next one. And like I said, it's gonna be pretty subtle. So there's the exclamation. Oh, it didn't even start. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What happened? It's set to autoplay. Oh, that's strange. Did I start it through here? Hey, Crazy's going pretty well. We just picked a launch date. Do I have a command for that? Yeah, I do. Ecom launch. Adam is planning to launch Skeleseller on March 17th, 2026. Is there any distinguishing between AI coding usage as a boilerplate tool versus AI usage as a feature implementation? I was like, it's going to give the wrong idea a lot of time. No, I don't think there is. I was thinking of making like an AI disclosure document, also HiCodex. And that way people could eventually read it and see, like, I could just say, oh yeah, I used Copilot. In fact, I streamed pretty much everything I did. If you want, you can go look at what an average day looked like. Those sorts of things. What's going on here? Why wouldn't this work? It's set to autoplay. Oh, because the scene exists. Okay. I should undo what I did then. I know what's going on. This just so happens to be timed in a certain way. All right, let's revert this. Yeah, so this is a little bit tricky. We need this to be after start scene. Ensure available action indicator only loops once. I'm not even certain this is going to work. We might need to say it only loops like twice or something. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like this. This is definitely going to be hacky. All right. So we want to say animation finish, just stop it. This is only going to work once. So this probably won't work. We probably need to have a counter here and check. Has it happened twice or 3 times or something? I mean, we'll try it again, but yeah, I thought this would be really fast to do. Oh, the other thing we could do maybe if we only need it to work once is we could, oh, I should have muted this. We could only start it on start scene. But I think the problem here is, all right, so there it shows once. It didn't actually stop it. What happened? Signal's not emitted if it's looping. Okay, so it's animation looped. That's what I want. That's why documentation is important. I still think this will be wrong, and I think we'll need to add in the counter. And I don't like how long this is taking so far. Hey, Pork, welcome in. I was going to say that looks like a Walfus emote. It is. Yeah, so now it's not showing up because I think what's going on is that this scene, yeah, I just need to keep track of how many times this loops. So int num loops equals 0, num loops plus plus. And now here's the kicker. I don't know what this number needs to be. So if it's greater than 1, then stop this. We'll just keep doing this until it works. It's got to be a discrete number that is less than 5. So we have at most 5 things that we need to look through here. I'm not going to binary search my way through this. It's probably 2, or it's probably 3. Hey, Rough Cookie. Happy New Year's Eve. How's everything been going? All right. There it is. And nice. That was perfect. Okay, so this needs to be renamed. Ensure available action indicator hides when it should. And then I'm going to write a comment for this. All right, so the sprite is set to loop. But the loop actually plays out once while the scene is fading in. Shouldn't we just change this? Yeah, this is kind of hacky. I don't want to spend any more time on this, though. Also, I wonder if frame rate is going to cause a problem here. Like, if I have this playing out at a smaller frame rate, what happens? Because I got to try that. Let's set it to 30. My goodness, look at how choppy that looks. It still works. Yeah. All right, set to loop, but the loop actually plays out once while the scene is fading in. We need it to stop as soon as the quest is accepted. This function handles that, but the very mechanism by which it works is due to lucky timing and not proper timing. However, I don't want to spend more time on this. The proper way to solve this would be to start and stop the animation from the animation player. Or, well, I guess to start a non-looping animation at the right time from the animation player. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Hey, Xyletics. All right, I'll look at it one more time. But like I said, this is it. I know this is not great. Remy is furious that I'm sharing this. 65 streams, my goodness. I personally don't really care about stream streaks. So there's the exclamation mark. It hides. It doesn't show up again. That's it. That's the fix. Let's go make a new branch. Git checkout -b more to do items. Make this hide at the right time in the intro. Just to say I don't really care. The man watches me for, well, I assume man, I actually don't know. Watches me for 65 days. More to do items. Hey TJ, thanks for the resub. Welcome back. The final sub of 2025, at least for TJ. If we're going to have save migrations, we should probably test them with playtesters rather than testing them with paying customers. This is not a to-do item. I'm deleting this. My goodness. You know, I never really cared about people being incredibly rich in channel points. You know, I never really cared about subs. You know, I never really cared about viewers. There. Now I've thrown shade at everybody. That's it. Now Zylotics can feel better. Yeah, hard worker. Thanks. I am doing well, TJ. I'm feeling pretty good. So definitely saw a worker pick up a weapon from the warehouse and the weapon shop was full. The major issue I didn't know was present until now, but it's probably why workers clog up the shop so much. So yeah, I think the problem is this. Let's say you have a bunch of items here. So like item 1, item 2, and you have a worker over here and a worker over here and a shop over here. The way that workers work is they're going to essentially plan out their entire path all at once. So this worker is going to plan to pick up an item and then plan to drop it off at the shop. And this worker is going to do the same thing. Plan to pick up this item, plan to drop it off at the shop. The problem is that if this worker gets done with their task, like as this worker is right about here, this worker is still going to go do exactly what its plan was. We need a way of saying that once you get to this item, figure out if you actually have a destination and don't pick it up if you don't have a destination. How do you afford a year of exploration? I mean, savings. And also my wife is working. Before this, I was working at Google for 3 years. And I've never shared how much I made, but I think Google pays like a crazy amount of money. It baffles me sometimes that some people work at companies like that for like 10 or 15 years, because that's like so much more than any one person needs to make in their lives, I think. And then the budget for the game was really low. The budget for the game is $500. And the ongoing costs are probably negative as a result of that, because the Twitch stream makes about maybe like 300 per month. And then YouTube makes about maybe like 20 cents per day. Am I, Kamar? So these are not like, yeah, these aren't great. Also, ongoing costs, I'm talking about like ongoing business costs. They're negative. They're not zero. I have a couple of domains. I have, what else? I have Copilot. I have some assets that I bought. I mean, that all fits into the budget of the game, I guess. Yeah. There's a cooldown. Yeah. Because I refund the points every once in a while, and I didn't want people spamming it like 4 times in a row. Liked Google or was not for you? I did not like it. I have a command that I'll share in YouTube chat there with a video talking about how I felt. It's a pretty open video. But yeah, unfortunately, nothing fits there. The video answer there. So yeah, if you click that link. Oh, thanks, Athletics, for gifting a sub. Here, I'll just paste this in the YouTube chat there. It's very nice of you. Welcome, Arprestle. Building my startup and the lawyer fees to get things done are so expensive, it's baffling. I think I paid something like $4,000 in 2015 to start the business. I did not probably need to pay that much. I think you can navigate all this stuff yourself. And it's not that bad. Like, you need to incorporate, and then you need any sort of like any articles around either how you're going to manage things, if you have employees, if you're not going to have employees, which, yeah, if you're not going to have employees, it simplifies things a lot. But even with contractors, there's a lot you need to know. It's like the rules, I haven't I haven't done this since the Botline days, but the rules used to be something like if you pay someone more than $600, then you need to send a 1099 to them, and you need to file something else. I forgot what it's called. Another form saying that you're gonna file 1099s the next year. There's like a whole bunch of processes you have to do. You need to make sure your business license is up to date. Maybe you would have gotten a sub gifted for you if you were proud of Athletic Streak. Who's laughing now? Yeah, if only. If only. It's the ongoing fees, telecommunication companies. So there's a lot of laws. Yeah. I was gonna say that's very different from software engineering. For software engineering, you have very little sort of hidden knowledge, I'd say. All right. Do we want to fix this? I mean, how does this work? Pick up item. We check to see which items have a valid destination. And then reach target. Set bailout flag if needed. What does it do? It's if you're holding a key. Why is it in pick up item? I don't know how this is even possible. Isn't this true? You're one good game away from being a millionaire. I mean, that's true of any product for anything, pretty much. Like you could make, I don't know, ornate spoons, and you could be like, oh, you're one spoon away from being a millionaire. Anything could sell for a crazy amount of money, right? I guess with games, you'd sell many copies, and there's no marginal cost to producing more of it. But yeah, no matter what business you're in, it's possible you get a high-paying customer or a lot of customers. One joke away from being a comedian. Yeah, I'm one joke away from that Netflix special. I just need to tell a powerful enough joke. One joke. All right, so if it doesn't have the item, or if the item's held, or if should bail out is true, then go back to work or wander. We should also check to see if we can use the item. So whatever got us into this state in the first place, isn't there like a find item thing? I just still don't understand how this could possibly be needed here. Target item source. If is holding key without valid chest. What is this? This is if they're walking to an item, right? So they haven't picked this up yet. I don't get this. This is code that already existed and isn't even what I'm trying to figure out right now, but I'm confused why this is here. I think it makes sense why it's in the beginning of this. Bailout timer. Okay, no, it doesn't make sense. Wow, I don't understand this. Hey, mannequin. How can a worker be holding a key in pickup item? Yeah, let's just go blame the code. I don't know. I don't know what else we do here. Pickup item.cs. Blame. Where's all this bailout stuff? Here it is. Can I see the specific commit this came from in a PR? Is that possible? View history. Doesn't work. I want to look at, man, I want to look at that commit in particular. I don't know how you even do that though. Oh, I need to look at the branch. What am I doing? Click this, I guess, and then look through the commits over here. Fix bug with workers binding keys. What is this? Is this what we're out of this? No. Address issue with keys? What's this? No. Tried the demo yesterday on Linux using Proton and it crashed. Is that expected? That is not expected, no. Are any other games crashing for you too? Well, I think what is that expected refers to is like, is this a known issue? Like, is it something I'm working on? Not really. All okay. Okay, yeah. That is definitely bizarre. Hmm. The only other crash I've heard of recently was from someone who had a lot of Steam games crashing. One thing I did, I switched to Spanish. I don't think that should have any impact. Yeah. Yeah, if it happens again, well, like, do you know when it happened? Was it like very early on? Was it after playing for a while? Oh, I can't find this. All right, well, let's just read through these things, I guess. Maybe if I search for worker. Ah, here it is. It's probably this. Yeah, it is. Okay, so a worker walking toward a key will only pick it up if there's a valid chest for the key. It'll perform this check occasionally as it's walking. Oh, it's not holding the key yet. Oh, this is not is holding, right? It is seeking key. It's just an incorrectly named function. Oh my God. Okay, 10 minutes in. Yeah, that is rough. Create something that would pay me for trash. Can't remember the name. Yeah, the garbage slime. Yeah, yeah. It's definitely not supposed to happen. If you don't mind trying the game again at some point and seeing if it crashes again, I the difficult thing here is that it's Linux using Proton, and I don't know how much I should expect Proton to sort of get in the way. I mean, ideally it isn't, and there are a lot of games that work just fine. So yeah, who knows what caused that. All right, so I think this is just supposed to be changed to is seeking. Yeah, there. Okay. Rename function. This confused me quite a lot before realizing that it was misnamed. The original commit that added this code is that. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. If you're not getting issues from something else, it's possibly a Skeleseller thing. I just don't know exactly what it would be. Were you using a controller? Would a bug report screen be possible? Some programs in our games do that. On a crash, I mean, I guess it's possible, although it's not the kind of thing I'd typically do. Steam might have even popped something up. But yeah, there's probably not much I can do. All right, so back to this for a second. So something puts us into this state. Let's go find it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, worker wander. So how's this work? Find item source function. Yeah, so we call find item source. And this naturally should, like, let's say we do this random actionable warehouse display. This is ones where we have a valid destination. So we got to check that somehow. I'm not actually sure how we would do this. Run Steam from the CLI. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Yeah. All right, so that's the question that I have here. In fact, let me sit down. I don't think I want to stand for 4 hours today. Someday this desk is gonna break. It's gonna be a shame. All right, so reach target. We have an item source here. I guess from the item source, we could maybe figure out what we want to do with this. Can we always do this though? Town not get valid destination for entity? Maybe we can. Maybe this is really all we need to do. Huh. Hey, Sarah. Launch year. Woo. It's gonna finally happen. So if it doesn't have an item, it's held, blah, 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 or should bail out. Or that there is no longer a valid destination. What's this false? This looks like this. What is that false for? And where does town come from? Town comes from there. Allow warehouse as destination. Oh, this won't work. Yeah, this won't work. It would make the, oh man, make the character go pick it up and then drop it again. So I need to know if the item source is the warehouse. I don't know if we can even do that. Well, there are other ways around this. Yeah, there are other ways around this. Also, we could just set this to true. It would make a worker come pick up an item and then drop it off immediately. In fact, let's try this out. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Kind of curious about this. So I need 2 workers, or maybe more than 2 workers, and a bunch of potions in my warehouse. It's going to cause a character. It's when they get there, though. I think that's going to be a problem. Well, let's make a new game. Just see what happens. So we upgrade this a whole bunch. Then we make 1,000,000 potions and a couple workers. So save that. They're going to start walking this stuff over there. Now what happens is before they make it there, I'm going to make a worker go find a new potion. So now it's going to pick up the potion and then drop it immediately? No, it's still going to walk to the shop. Is that always considered a valid destination? If so, this isn't how we're going to solve this, I guess. No, yeah, there it is. It's always going to be considered valid. I don't think we should do anything about this. What would bail out? If the guild won't accept it, it always will. The tavern, I mean, it'll stop that. It'll stop this. It'll probably stop that too. All right, I don't think we're going to solve this problem right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to copy this into an issue. Prove worker logic. Original notes are here. So I investigated this on, well, I investigated this today, I guess I can say. And we can't simply put, we can't simply bail out if this in this condition. This is because the shop is always considered a valid destination. This wouldn't even be the right condition if that. Although even in that case, it still wouldn't be the right condition, since this would allow a worker to pick up an item from the warehouse only to put it right back down in the warehouse. I think the proper thing to do would be to consider both the source and the possible destinations of the target. So if the source is the ground, don't even run this check. It's always worth it to pick up an item from the ground, since it could otherwise disappear. If the source is the warehouse, don't try seeking out the warehouse as a possible target. And if the destination can be a shop, don't allow going to an already, or like disallow pickup if the shop is full. Yeah, I don't think it's worth doing now. All right, update gifts on itch. I know I have this written down, but I don't know if we can use the non-dithered ones because the ones on Steam are videos, right? Open video in new tab. I'm pretty sure this is not just a GIF or something here. AVIF. Did I write about this somewhere? I don't. Here it is. And it gives, I highly recommend Gifski. It's so easy. You can preview export sizes. Well, what do we do for itch? I'm already using Gifski, right? Yeah, I have it. Does it produce dithered GIFs like this one? Let's just try it. Gifski. Drop a video or open. Oh, man. All right, fine. So first we got to use cap. And let's grant a bunch of items and get this. No, stop it. What's going on? What happened? Where did cap go? Here it is. Is it just not going to work now? Oh, there we go. All right. I don't know if you can see this, but I can drag a little rectangle here. So we're going to do this and record. Now we get some customers coming in. And we stop this. Then we copy to clipboard maybe? Can you use Gifski to paste? Drop a video or open? I don't know if that'll work. Export completed. Whoops. Can we drag from here? Oh, yeah, nice. All right, so let's just hit convert and see what happens here. Where'd the file go? All right, I want to open this in Chrome. Oh, nice. It's not dithered. Wow. Yeah, so we do need to update this. What app is that? There were two different apps I used. One was Cap, and the other was Gifski, which I don't think I have a command for. Yeah, Acom, Gifski. Adam uses Gifski. Where'd that go? To convert. Oh, I think I need to put spaces around this for Twitch to convert videos to GIFs without apparent dithering. All right, so do I have a note on itch? I do. Yeah, so let's go find Steam Gifski. Yeah, here. Itch page. Your export size to make you fit. What are itch's requirements for adding a GIF? Recommended 630 by 500. That's there. What about here? Can we just add like as many of these as we want? Huh. Itch page GIFs. Do they not uploading? Can only upload GIFs that are smaller than 3 megabytes. So if I tried uploading this one that I have right now, it wouldn't work, right? I'm not even sure how you add this. Add image. Choose image. All right, I got it from here, right? Save as. It's 5.2. Let's just save it in temp. Testeroni.gif. All right, so now pick. I think it's going to fail. No, wait. It said right there. It said max 5, right? Wait, why did that work then? Where'd that even go? Yeah, max size 5 megabytes. This isn't 5 megabytes. It was there at the top. 5.2. Did it not upload? I didn't see an error, right? I don't think it uploaded. Did it show an error? Was I just not paying attention? No, it added it. But how? This is more than the maximum size. I wonder if it's like megabytes versus mebibytes. Here, well, that's for uploads, I guess. Yeah. All right, I should maybe mention this later. Let me talk about this. Afternoon. Tell me if I uploaded a 5.2 megabyte GIF to itch when it says the limit is 5. I didn't try saving the page though. But I'm not going to save this at all. We're just going to click view. Yeah. But I do want to update these. I just don't think it's very important to do it right now. So let's go file an issue, create this, blah, blah, blah. Launch for NextFest. What? Why is it still an open issue? I'll look at that later. Yeah, I'll just say finalize itch page. I'm still using dithered GIFs that were probably made with Cap or something. I should use Cap to make videos for GIFski, then upload those. So the thing I wanted to write here is make sure you'll fit itch's requirements. At the time of writing, it just seems to be any GIF less than 5 megabytes. Yeah, so this is going to be a pre-launch task. Great. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. Okay, I found I have the most recent update of the game on itch. I'm playing as a bug. I killed a boss monster. I have to reload the game for stats to update. Please fix this. Thank you. I think they're talking about harder elites not updating the tooltip on the battle map. I think it's still a problem. This can't be that hard to fix. So I save and load. And we see level question mark, number of wins 1. So let's take a picture of this. And then fight it again. We win, and now what does it say? No, repeat. Number wins 2. Do you ever document these standard operating procedures to just remember? For like uploading GIFs and stuff, I definitely document those. I'm not sure if you're talking about something different. In general, I try to stick to the whole, don't try to commit something to memory that you could just have in a note somewhere and then have a good system for finding those notes. So like here, what you saw me do when I was looking for this is I searched for GIF and I eventually found the right note. Yeah. One of the things that I think you kind of take for granted is, let's say like every day for 2 years, you get up, you like build your project, you run it. You do this so frequently that you don't really need to remember how you did it or what problems you ran into. But now 2 years pass and you come back to the project. Your first question is gonna be like, how do I even run this thing? And ideally there's a standard answer for that, or you have a README or something. But if you don't have any of that stuff, if it's not standard, if there were some gotchas, if there's some environment variable that needs to be set that's not clear, and you don't have errors telling you where that is, now you have to debug the code or update dependencies or something, it's going to be a nightmare. So I think the more you end up kind of flitting from project to project, the more you think I should document what I did here, so the future me will be able to get back into this. All right, I don't know for sure that this is even a bug, because it's not happening here. Kill the boss monster. I have to reload the game for the stats update. Maybe it's after you get harder elites the first time. Hey, Flayed the bird. Happy old year still. New game, I guess. I'll try this again. I'm not certain I'm even going to see this happen. So it says number of wins 1. We win. It now says number of wins 2. It looks like it's working. Yeah, it looks like it's working. I think we just close this then, but I don't know what fixed this. Yeah, number wins 3. Okay. Well, like I said, I don't see a problem with this. Let's try with the dragon. Number of wins is 1 right now. We win it. And now it says number of wins is 2. In fact, what if I turn on invincibility? This is probably going to take forever, so let's speed this up. And now just hover over this. Number of wins 2. Does it get updated as soon as we win? I'm probably blocking it with my camera, but I'll let you know if it works. It does not work, but if you hover over... Oh, it doesn't work if you hover over it again either. Is it only when you select the... Oh, it's only when you select the location. Interesting. Okay, so that's the bug. It's not even about reloading. Level? How do we find the bug? Fixed number of wins showing in elite tooltips. Yeah, here it is. Update, edate. It looks like the repro is this. Click grant most things. Fight a boss. Or win a fight against a boss. And then... Oh, is this not really a problem because most of the time you don't have this here? So this says 3. So I'm going to let them win this fight. They're almost done. And then I go over to here and hover over this. It doesn't show anything. And then I click this and now it says 7. Yeah, okay. All right, so this is a very specific repro now. That's why. And it used to not be so specific because you could just hover over this thing. So it got mitigated, but it's not fixed. So it's start a fight against a boss. Well, it's this. Hover over the location. Well, oh man. Before the fight finishes, make sure the boss location is selected in the battle map and that you have a party that can go there. And then win the fight. And then hover over the battle elite button. At this point, the number of wins will be incorrect. Simply selecting the location again will fix it. I.e., this is just a UI problem, not a data problem. This repro is more complicated than it was in the past since we split regular and elite battles. Before, you just needed to hover over the location to see the problem. Now you need to hover over the Battle Elite button, which is disabled until you have a valid party. All right, well, maybe we should just fix this now. How hard is it to fix this? I'm going to write like original details. I think whatever happens when you click it should just happen when you win a boss battle, right? It should be really easy. Instance map, selected, instance. Yeah, here. Create route, update selected instance label. It's probably this. No, it's not this. It's the battle elite button. That happens in the battle map. Battle panel tab? Yeah. So battle elite tooltip. Yeah, here it is. What updates this? Set text and tooltip. This is what exactly? Set start button state. And this only gets called on unlocked battle. Update all UI. Unlocked ability to repeat elites. So every time you beat an elite, we need to update this for the selected location. Do we have that somewhere? Beat elite for first time. That's it. Oh, that's too bad. The instance map might have a different one though. No, we just have for first time. We could make one that says for any time. Beat elite instance. What do we say? Again. This is as opposed to beating it for the first time. See. Yeah, there. Okay, now we use that. So this is kind of stupid. Whatever. And then we need to check inside the battle panel tab. So instance map dot. Do we ever listen to? Yeah, we do. Beat elite instance again equals update selected instance, or like beat elite instance again. And then just put a function here. So if instance ID is equal to the selected one, then set start button state. Update the level of the elite if you won a repeat battle. That's it. That's the fix. All right, pretty easy. I'd be kind of surprised if this didn't work. So let's just make sure we're testing it correctly. So I click grant most things. We start a battle here. It says number wins 1. Then before it finishes, all right, so here we just do this. We just hover over this. It should update. In the background, you can see the ogre is getting attacked. When it dies, the number win should update to 2 here. It might also, yep, there it goes. It worked. Easy peasy. Cool. Bug totally fixed now. Yeah, nice. Hey, game comment. All right, so this is 1111. Fix issue with showing boss levels. Fixes that. See that issue for details. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Cool, done. Need to figure out how to fix highlighting for the slimes, a guild master, etc. It should be highlighted colorfully while dragging an item, white when pointing at them, but then when you stop pointing, it goes back to either colorful or off based on whether you're dragging. Probably needs need object highlighter to be aware of the dragging state and whether the target is a valid destination. I don't think this is worth fixing. This is still a bug. It's just not a very important bug. So here's the problem. When you're holding an item, the slime gets highlighted white. When I drag this near them, the slime... Oh, hang on. It's apparently more subtle than that. When I drag it near them, they get a thicker outline. Yeah, so you can see that. Then I drag it over them and then away, it disappears for good. So now it's not clear that this is still a target until you're right on top of them. And that's it. That's a bug. It's really not super important. No one's ever commented on it. So I don't really think we should probably fix it. But let's see if we have an issue for it. Highlight. I don't see it here. Yeah. It happens on a couple of different objects in the game. Maybe outline? Add thin outline, add sounds, anything, add an outline to the tavern. Issues when accepting items. I think it's this. Yeah, and this happens for more things than just that. Guildmaster treasure chest. Keyword highlight. So no, this also happens to the Guildmaster and treasure chest. IMO, it's probably not worth fixing. Unless we have absolutely nothing better to do. Well, almost nothing better to do. No one has really commented on it. An issue in my game where when you close the map, the edges fade out weirdly and no one ever said anything about it, so I thought it was fine. Then Adam played the game. Within the first 30 seconds of playing, he goes, why does the map edge fade out weird? Well, some things that people rarely comment on could still be worth fixing, especially if they're fast to fix. I don't think this one's going to be fast. I also, oh, I guess notes. I had this written from a while ago. Okay, so just comment that and delete it from here. We should probably change abilities component to be able to look up ability IDs in O of 1 rather than O of N. Yeah. I think we need to do some performance profiling. I was playing on my Chromebook yesterday, which I don't even think I knew was possible. And it ran fine, but my computer was getting pretty hot and the fan was on and it looked like it was burning a lot of battery. Seems to not be able to modulate. Yeah. Yeah. You could change the modulate of the edges though. Not the viewport necessarily, but the edges. Actually, you could even do it in an animation player. You could have like a function called, or an animation called something like fade out, and then change the modulate in there, and then when done, call a function like fade out done, and, or even cue free. So as a simple example, if you haven't done this already, where do we do it? Each edge is a separate viewport. I mean, you can still fade out each edge individually. I'm trying to think though where we do this in our game. Do we have a fade out thing that just goes away? Floating text maybe? No. If I search for animation player, we should find it. Yeah, Chomp. Chomp is a good one. So this is really simple here. We have an animation that changes the modulate, so it fades in, then it plays an animation, and then it fades out. And then at the end of this, it just calls cue free on its own. So you could have this same sort of thing in your edges, and then you just call the play fade out animation, and it'll do this, and then it'll just free itself at the end. Or it could even free its parent or something if you wanted it to. Potentially just change abilities into a dictionary. I don't think there's any reason it has to be a list. I wonder if it's going to cause any massive problems. Have this in my game as well. Sorry, I'm being too distracting. No, it's fine. Also, if you already have it, yeah, then you know the technique. I was just, if you didn't know the technique, I want to show you that it's really easy to do. All right, so here's the problem, right? We have a collection right there, and this probably should be a dictionary. There is a whole lot that would need to change to get this to work. But I think the more important thing to do is the profile list. C# and Godot profile. All right, .NET Trace collect, format Chromium, blah, blah, blah. Do whatever you want in your game. When finished, press Enter or Control C. I'll put a chromium.json file. Do format speed scope. In Chrome, do this. Okay, sure. So let's get to a state where we got a lot going on in the game. I want there to be a collection of items coming in. So yeah, let's save this, quit out of that. So we're gonna run this from here. Do whatever you want. When finished, press Enter. Yeah. Okay, so we load the game. We got to start up some battles. Let's just start them anywhere. It doesn't really matter, I think. There. Okay, so we got a couple battles. And now I want more workers. And I want some items and stuff. I need the shops. When it's save. We're going to run this like that. And I want to see what happens. Thanks, Game Comment. Yeah. Yeah, number of wish lists has been going up, but I haven't really been doing anything extra, and I'm not sure why that's happening. I don't know if it's that I've been updating the game on Steam. It does show up on some sites as a result of that. I think we want a couple more workers and a couple more customers. I wonder if I need some perks, actually. Let's get the town hall. There. And maybe that. I'm going to let it run for a little bit longer. We'll save one more time. And I'll press Enter now. Okay. All right, so now what? Now open the Performance tab in Chrome. Performance. Click this button. And go find where that outputted it. Profiling. Did it work? It does this every once in a while. Oh, wait. If you don't see anything, how do we go back to that state I was just in? Oh, man. I don't know how to do that. I want to write instructions on how I fix this. Ah, there, yeah. So this is the state I was in, except for now it's highlighted pink. How do I get the highlight to go away? Can I just tab away from it? No. Man. I wanna, oh man, yeah, I don't know. All right, well, anyway, I'll just take a picture of this. Expand this if you don't see anything. Okay, just a half. Expand process 0, and you should see a bunch of threads. And then you gotta find your thread. There should only be one thread that's actually really doing anything, right? Oh, the pink ones have stuff. Oh, that's why it's highlighted. Interesting. And click any of the highlighted threads. Okay. So we click this one, and now we should be able to figure out what was taking a bunch of time in like this time frame. Where is... Man, a lot of time is spent just calling into Godot. A lot of time. I wonder if GDScript... Well, GDScript should still have the same thing going on, right? It's just not marshalling between languages. That is though, right? Bunch of I calls. Godot object pointer. Maybe there's a way to avoid some of this stuff. Because like instance from ID is done very frequently. 6% of the time is spent in this. Hey, Bobby. Welcome in. No, you can link it, Flare. That's totally fine. All right, can we copy the name of this? How do you copy stuff? Oh, yeah, we can. Okay, cool. I'm doing well. All right, let's search for this and see what happened. Instance from ID returned to null. What's doing this? Yeah. I don't have any of these calls, do I? No. I'm not explicitly calling it, at least. I wonder if we can see a stack here. Yeah, convert to Godot object pointer. But where's this coming from? Godot collections array. Like, this is still the bulk of all of this. I still want to find this. Where is this? Link and new role. Regeneration system. Really? No way. Huh. I wouldn't have thought. Because we're iterating over nodes here? Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. So we shouldn't do this? Oh man. All right, this is why profiling is so important. I had no idea. I never even thought about this. And I think this should be pretty easy to fix. But yeah, this was just not on my radar. I'd love to know if we fix this eventually. Because, like, okay, if I get rid of this, apparently 1 second spent out of 17 seconds is just going to be probably gone. And I know how we could get rid of it. What else do we have here? String new. String name new from string. Where is this coming from? This is also taking a lot of time. Update entity. Walk animation system. Walk animation system. Is there some easy way to, like, I can't see what this is pointing at because this is going off the side of the screen. Header, reset. I could shrink this, but there's got to be a better way to just, like, see what this thing is, right? I guess I can hide that and see a little bit more. Oh, there we go. All right, yeah, this was a very, very long line. Yeah, I was expecting right click to be there for copy, but you can triple click to select the whole thing. So what is this? Walk animation system, invoke Godot class method. Huh. I don't know more about this than that. What's going on in here, though? The function it's trying to call is Godot sharp string name new from string. String name. Get animation from direction. Is this causing a problem? Oh yeah, animation name is a Godot thing, isn't it? No, that isn't. But there's a, oh man, there's a thing here somewhere. I don't know where that is. This maybe? No, this is still an enumeration that we control, right? Yeah. Something is calling into Godot code here, and I can't figure out what yet. Hey, Hadouk, and hey, Crows. Yeah, we finally have a launch date. All right, I can't find the issue here. It might be this one. Is that hash set, though? No. Yeah, I don't see a problem. Huh. And the only two string I see is there, which is on an enumeration. Okay, well, let's write down some of the performance issues that we see here. Profile for performance. I tested it on my Chromebook and it was running hot. I also got, oh, you know what'd be nice is if I had a save file on my Steam Deck, excuse me, and I could take a look at the frame rate And then we could see if any of these changes are helping. Thanks, Mitch, for the resub and the Happy New Year. I appreciate it. Happy 53 months. It's been quite the time. Not that critical, might be interesting. Yeah, I'll try to take a look later. Okay, so problem number 1 is regeneration system is iterating over, or like the town. No 2D adventurers in the town. We should just store the adventurers without having to consult Godot. I didn't even think about this. Man. Problem is, I'd love to find out more about this, and I can't figure it out. And we can't copy a call stack here. I guess I can do this. Oh, update entity. I didn't see that. So it's in here somewhere. And then we just have string name op implicit. So something in here is causing the problem. This is the longest function in here. String name implicit. And it's got to be coming from a Godot thing. Crows, thanks for the gifted subs. Very generous of you. You've now gifted 123 subs. My goodness. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. All right, so get component, get the facing direction. Get animation from direction. Is any of this stuff a problem? I guess I should just go through line by line and find out what's going on here. Facing direction is enumeration that we have. Animation from direction. Animation name is enumeration that we have. I don't think it should be a problem there. This stuff shouldn't matter. This might, but it should be an enumeration that we're doing. Oh, it's this, I think. Ah, yes, it's this. So we're converting to a string name. And we're doing this so frequently that it's a problem. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's write that down too. Problem number 2. This line of code, it's converting to a Godot string, right? When we do animation. Yeah. Since animation is a string name. Wow. Wow. Okay, what else do we see going wrong here? Because already we found a couple of issues. So that accounts for 10% of the runtime. So just fixing that is already going to give us back quite, wait, 10%? No, 11%. Hey, Goose. And then this is only 1%. What is this? This might not be worth fixing. Floating text update position. Why is this a problem? String name op implicit, floating text, update position. There's a string name going on in here because of this? Oh, God. No better way to do this? Hey, Syllables. Long time no see. Great to see you streaming again. Yeah, thanks for the resub. I don't recognize the name. And since you've subbed for 11 months and since you don't have any chat history, I'm guessing you watched back in the Botland days? Yeah, you were following since 2017. Well, welcome back. I've been back for a few years now, actually. So we're toward the end of Skeleseller, the game I've been working on for the last year and 8 months. And it's been going pretty well. You know, I've been thinking a lot more about this whole journey versus destination thing. And this comes up a lot in my life. Just in terms of as a random example, if I watch something on Netflix, I'm almost guaranteed to watch at 1.5x speed, which is very much a destination thing, right? I want to finish this show, or I want to watch this movie, and not, hey, I want to enjoy this thing. And I read something on Hacker News recently where someone said that they were reading Lord of the Rings and that they like purposely slowed down by 2x or 3x. So they were reading every sentence and like pausing, and then reading the next sentence and pausing. And my first reaction is like, wow, that sounds painful. But then I read the rest of their post and they said something like, it really let the words breathe. They got to absorb the entirety of the setting and just appreciate things. And I've been thinking about this in the context of Skelesaur lately, the journey versus destination thing. And I've enjoyed working on the game, but I am very much looking forward to releasing it and then starting the next game. And it's sort of hard to like both of these at once. Like if you like the journey, then the destination shouldn't matter so much. And if all you care about is the destination, you might not appreciate the journey. Yeah, just been thinking about it. Yeah, Kim. I'm confused by this profile. Are you just running the game in the browser? Yeah, I'm just viewing the output in DevTools, exactly as Kim mentioned. And hey, William, Happy New Year. Very questionable life choice. Well, I used to have this mentality for practically everything, and I still have it for like most of the media I watch, which is watch it as fast as possible. That still lets me get some enjoyment out of it. But I do recognize that I'm losing out on some enjoyment by doing it. And it almost makes me wonder, like, if I just sort of was stuck in a room for like a month and I had one episode of TV, what's the slowest you could watch it at and still enjoy it? Like, could you span it over the course of a month? You're like, I'll watch 1 minute per day. So it's a 30-minute episode in 30 days. Would that be good? Should you like constantly have it on, but it's playing at like whatever 1/1500th the rate or something? I don't know. I'm just rambling. Yeah, so this is a pretty important realization that I just never knew about. So if you look at a line like this, you would think, oh, this is going to happen in constant time, right? But what actually happens here is this is a C# string, and Godot needs it to be a string name. So there's a conversion going on, and there's a conversion to these things, but this is a disposable thing. They're immutable strings designed for general purpose representation of unique names. String name ensures that only one instance of a given name exists, so two string names of the same value are the same object. Comparing them is much faster than with regular strings because only the pointers are compared. So I think what's happening here is we're creating a new string name on like every single frame multiple times for like a bunch of different things. And I think string names already exist somewhere. Like there's not even a question of I just did this wrong. I think what I'm supposed to do is get like label dot. No, maybe it's not in label. Okay, I don't know where this exists, but it exists somewhere in the Godot code base. So let's just go search for it. But man, this is really eye-opening. I want to write about some of this stuff. How do we find this? Normal font size. There should be some class that just has a whole bunch of strings written out. No, I don't think it exists. Maybe it only exists in C#. I don't know how I'd find it though. Yeah, I don't know how to find this thing. Maybe if we search through label, we'll see it somewhere. Oh, that wasn't even a label. It was a rich text label. Oh, maybe that's why. Font size. Ah, there it is, right there. Well, I mean, this is the wrong one, but they're all the string names, I mean. Wow, I can't believe this. Yeah, I should definitely write this stuff down. I wonder what kind of performance boost we'll get out of this. Because this is so easy to fix. And we just saw that where is that? We saw that this alone is taking 1% of the time. That's not a lot, but like I said, the fix for this is going to take me like 10 seconds. So, hey, we just get that 1% back for free, I think. Hey, Gibbon, and hey, Tiny. I built Flash games for years for the web, and last year started a software company, released my first mobile game, working on more now. Feels great to get a game out. Yeah, and I've gotten games out before too, but I mean, none of them were like super successful or anything. So, I'm hoping Skelesaur is better on that front. I think slowing down and savoring and enjoying something definitely depends on the thing. Yeah, I think so too. 107% watched every day. Yep. And I don't know what you're talking about with that, Tiny. Let me take a look. Oh, Charlie Jones. Is there a target minimum hardware you're aiming for? Not really. But yeah, not really. I gotta write this stuff down. So profiling, we learned about all this string name stuff, which I got to go replace in the entire code base. Problem number 3. We use C# strings instead of Godot, or instead of string name in a bunch of places. I should write a performance section here. Performance. Helpful tips. So you may be tempted, and all my notes have this. I'm not going to go fix this everywhere, am I? Maybe it's not that hard to fix. I just need to search for green. There's no green in here? Really? Just there? Okay, well, that was easy. And there's green there too. Yeah, I was going to say, if I have a code block. Oh, I guess I need to search for this kind as well, huh? All right, well, let's just copy the entire note and then search for backticks and find them all and just find the next, like, few words. And then see here how many strings we have. And are any of these strings a string name? No, they aren't. Okay, so that's probably not the best way of searching, but it does something. I might also have this in other Godot notes, though. I probably do, like font size. In fact, I wonder how GDScript does this. Does it have a problem? Godot UI might have it. Yeah, here it is. This is not how this should look. All right, let's find any label in the code base so I can just fix my notes really fast. Not a rich text label. It's got to be a regular label. I guess there's no reason for me to find a label. I could just type it anywhere, right? Label L. There. Okay, now we search for font size. String name, font. Oh, come on. Where's this come from? Wait, this doesn't even have normal font size here. I mean, I guess I can make my own one. Method name. What? Where's normal font size? Why is this so hard to find? Can I search like Godot monocode somewhere? What if I just search for this in here? Does it find that file? No, it doesn't. So this code base is somewhere else. Godot mono. I want to find their GitHub. I don't know where it is. Mono build scripts. Mono builds? That's probably not right. Is it? And if I search for this, does that show up in there? No. Maybe if I go to their organization, I can find the repo. Mono. No. C#. I don't know where this is. Maybe I'm searching stupidly. Maybe I should search for this. No. Let's try that. SGH. Didn't find anything. Really? Does not exist on Godot somewhere? What is going on? Where is this code? Maybe it's generated. Bar folder. I mean, this looks like a generated thing. Decompilation metadata. Oh no. We're never going to find this, are we? Maybe we could search for this one, though. This, SGH, Godot. Come on. That does not exist anywhere. GD script, confusion on clearing text, rich text label. I don't know what you're supposed to do for this. All right, well, we should be able to access this at least, right? Like if I type rich text label dot this, is this not public? Public new class method name. What is this inside of? It's inside rich text label. So rich text label dot method name. Yeah, there it is. Dot invalidate paragraph. Yeah, that exists. Type name does not exist. Yeah. So this should be string name foo equals whatever, and this is valid, right? Yeah. Control dot method name. I just want to find a list of every single one of these things. Oh, property names. Interesting. So, okay, so there's got to be a way to find this. Godot C# property name. Where do we prefer using the exposed string name and the property name, method name, signal name to avoid extra string name allocations? Oh my God, they write it right here. They write it right here. Oh man. State is currently not saved and restored. Attached C# script should refer to a class as a class name that matches the filing. That's fine. All right, well, let's go back to my notes over here. Prefer using string name values that are exposed statically. If you ever type code like this, rich text label it'll have to allocate a string name, which is an object. Instead, use, I don't know what you're supposed to use though, because I can't find it. This should not be hard. Rich text label dot, maybe it's in font. Property name dot normal, no. They only have fallbacks here. Oh, they have methods here. Is there normal font size? No. So mad. We just got to search around for this because I can't even find it on the internet. Where would it even, maybe theme? Default font. There's default font size. Hey, Phil. If I could just find... Yeah, I know default isn't the same as normal. It literally has to be the word normal. I just need to figure out where this exists. And like, where would it even be? Is it in here somewhere? Oh my God, maybe it's in here. Oh, that was stupid of me if it is. No, it's not. Oh man, I'm baffled. Baffled that I can't find this. Control, property name, normal, font size, method name. I don't think they're methods. What else could we possibly have? Yeah. I don't see anything here. Do I do this anywhere else in the code? Property name dot. I never do this. Do I do method name? Nope. Not in my code, at least. Actually, here we do. Change position. Interesting. These are generated. What do we do? How do we find these? Method name. Is there an issue on this property? Like how to find the listing of all of them? Signed by static function in tool mode. Doesn't recognize this. Property selected, scene corruption. Huh. Side of Godot break source generation. I think these are generated. I'm pretty sure they're generated. In which case, it exists somewhere and it's just very, very hard to find. Maybe it's in label instead of control. I couldn't find it in label, control, rich text label, theme. I don't know if I checked font. I think I did. Yeah, I did. But maybe there's some other thing other than font. Font variation dot property name dot. No. There's so many font things too. Font file. No. It could be anywhere. Anywhere. Font names, no. Any other font things in here? That's it. Yeah, that's it. Any other label thing? Label settings? There's font size. Just font size though. I need normal font size. Can you, how do you search generated code? Search generated code. If there's a way to do that, then I can find this pretty easily. This is such a puzzle to me because I'm 90% sure that they exposed a property name somewhere. I can't find it. I looked in all the places I think it would be, and yet I think it still exists. Dependencies, analyzers. This is in VS proper though, right? Yeah. Use MS build to output generated files. Dump generated code to disk. After building, check this. Okay, sure. But this is for Godot, right? I don't know if this is going to work. How about we just build? And then when that's done, check obj/debug. Does that exist? I don't see it. I probably need to, oh, there's a bunch of debug folders. Net standard. Today at 10:07. This is C# analyzers though. This one is tools, and this one is tools. Yeah, none of these are right. Oh, wait, there's a bunch of other ones? Oh, Scala source generators. This is our old source generators, though. These are what we made. Theme constants? You found it? How did you find it? It's very likely that, but how did you find it? Oh, ChatGPT? No, theme constants doesn't seem to exist. Theme DB? Normal fonts. Come on. Why is this not here? Is it something you could have defined in the Godot editor or something? No, it's something that Godot would expose in C#. I could also just make one myself. It's in theme constants? There is a theme constants? Why? I don't have a theme constants in the Godot namespace. Unless it's under one of these. Like theme db.themeconstants. something. No. Yeah, I don't know. Theme constants. Yeah, I don't see. How are you supposed to find these though? That's the thing I don't understand. Fails. Script properties generator? The thing is, okay, wait. Maybe I'm just searching for something stupid here. Let's search for normal font size. Rich text label. That's the only place this shows up, right? Yeah. So it's probably got to be in rich text labels somewhere. Font size. I just see push font size. Is there anything else in rich text label? Is there a theme thing in here? What could overage amount? 4.4.1, I think, or something like that. Theme constants out font color. Huh. I wonder what that is in C#. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is the only place this exists. And I already searched through their code, right? I didn't find anywhere else that this is. Editor about. Editor log. Theme font size override. Just rich text label. Strange. What I showed is C#? Oh. Yeah, I wonder if this just didn't exist. Search for theme constants. No, even that doesn't show up here. I mean, technically this is 4.5, and I think they're up to 4.6. Could this be it? I'm only half listening. Hey, Smurf. I saw you in someone's stream yesterday. I don't remember what, and I'm too stuck on this now. Document how to set a theme property of control node. The theme property with code is not intuitive and needs explanation. No, I don't think it's this. Okay, so what I'm looking for in particular, I need to find what string name in C# refers to this. Literally normal font size. And it's got to be a string name. So the way this works typically is you'd find like rich text label and you type property name and then you'd get a whole bunch of these things, right? So like all of these are just string name something equals the snake case thing. String name size equals size, string name position equals position. I need to find something that says string name normal font size equals normal font size. And I don't know where that is. But this has to exist somewhere. And it's in generated code, so I don't think it's on GitHub anywhere. And I can't find what class would have generated this. And it's possible it doesn't exist. I don't see anyone talking about this though. Property name, normal font size. Maybe I should just file an issue and someone will eventually respond and say, oh, here it is. Did we generate this FD debug? No, I don't think so. Hey, Floxit. Your chill sessions, musical keyboard experiences on your QCam. Thank you. And happy early new year to you too. Yeah. Oh man. I can't believe this. I don't know how you're supposed to find this. I think I am gonna maybe file a bug. Like, okay, let's see. What else do we use? Maybe if I go back to floating text, because we have something else here. Outline size. Is that in here? Outline. No, it's not. Oh man. Really? Just push outline size? Can you search for, I think I already did this. I don't think you can search for this anywhere, can you? Size and anchors, rich text label. Oh, hey, C# API. Oh, wow, look at this. Okay, so what if we search for normal font size? Well, that didn't do anything. Does push outline size exist? No. So you apparently can't search that way. Maybe I search this way. No. How does search work on this website? Right, we know push outline size exists. Oh, there we go. But I can't search for normal font size. We can search for font size, though. Class font, label settings. Label settings is in label settings? No. Normal font size didn't find anything. Greetings from Belgium. Greetings back from the US. Maybe this doesn't exist. All right, I'm going to file a bug because I can't find this anywhere. Someone else must be running into this somehow. Bug report. Cannot find some property name in C#. Okay, so reproducible in this. But this is potentially more of a documentation bug. Well, issue. I shouldn't really say bug. System information, this doesn't matter. But fine. Sequoia 15. What? How did that just change? Is this just a long string? Mac OS. All right, issue description. Where's that page? This? Where'd my... Yeah, here it is. So this page says... Yeah, this says this. However, it's unclear how to find some of the property names. For example, I have this code. Loading text. I guess we have it right here. I'll just take this. By the way, Flare, since you said you have theme constants, do you have theme constants dot property name dot normal font size? Does that exist for you? Like if you can type that in and it works, then... Oh, you said it's your own class. Oh boy. Where is property name dot normal font size supposed to exist? I realize that I should be able to create one myself, but it seems like they're generated for most other properties. No real repro steps. This is just a documentation issue at worst. And user error at best. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to create this, and then let's look at the issue. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was Alkaline Q stream. Yeah, there we go. How to change font size via GDScript. This shouldn't even have this issue. Yeah. Yeah, this is not the problem here. So I know how to change the font size. This code does it. The only question is, how do we avoid allocating a C# string into a Godot string? And I can just make a static property myself. It's just weird that I have to do that here. What a shame. All right, well, let's finish writing my notes. Before using this, if you ever type code like this, so I can't figure out these ones. Theme constants. But maybe we can find it somewhere else in the code. I haven't changed any code, right? Yeah, I haven't. All right, how do we search for this then? Because I do this in more spots than just here. I mean, I guess we can just search for when I call. There's 7,000 results here. All right, let's do star.cs. Now there are only 2,000 results. So let's search for a very specific regex. Something like this, dot star semicolon. Now there are only 1,000 results. I don't know if this is any better. But it finds things that are at least in this structure. Oh, and you know what? We could search for an underscore as well. Underscore. Now we have 90 results. All right, now we're talking. Yeah, so all of these. I use GDScript, not C. It's in rich text label. There's a rich text label property for it, but I don't have that. I wonder if it's not in property names somehow. Godot rich text label. Normal font size. No, there's no string name for it. I don't think GDScript even has this problem, so I don't think they need to do something like this. This is just a C# issue. I'm not totally sure. Well, what else do we have? Set font, bold font. Okay, so like this, for example, this we definitely have. This should be easy, right? Theme dot property name dot bold font. Oh, come on, it doesn't exist. All right, this has got to be some kind of joke. Maybe it doesn't exist for anything in the theme. Oh, that doesn't make any sense either. Like, what about this? This takes in a string name, right? Yeah, it does. Control theme. So what, is font a thing? No. I am so confused. Is that second thing a string name as well? It is. Theme type. Yeah, I don't know where any of this is. All right, I'll just make my own. Yeah. I'll make my own. But is there anything that we can fix here without making my own class? Like line width? No, line width is a shader thing. Never mind. Doesn't matter. V separation? All of these are theme constants. This is, what is a loop container? Control? Control.property name.v separation. No, this would actually be in a VBox container, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, they're all just theme things that I use. Anything else? Font size. Are you trying to verify the normal font size? No. So, okay, the problem is this, and yeah, I probably can't state it any clearer than this. So if you have something like this code uses a C# string, so this, but Godot expects a string name, so it like marshals the value into a string name, which is an allocation that doesn't need to happen. So we need to find a static string name somewhere or make it ourselves to avoid that allocation. I can set the font size. This code works. It's just causing an allocation for this string that it's not even apparent that it's doing that when you look at this. But then you look at the contract of the API and it's clearer then. And apparently this is slower than I thought. Okay, this one. This should exist, right? Add child in scene transition. Although we only do this once, but still it'll slightly speed up loading times. So how do we find that? Node. node.method name dot add child. Yeah. All right, so here's a perfect example of what I want to find. Because this, oh, it doesn't exist? Are you kidding me? Or does F12 just not work? Ah, there it is. Yeah. So add child exists as a static string name right here. So like instead of me making it, I should just use this here. And there, performance improved. Add theme font size override, name size. So Gibbon, I say this respectfully. I'm not sure you understand what the problem is, but it's okay. I'm gonna work around it anyway. Yeah, we're just trying to avoid a string allocation here, and name in C# gets marshaled into a string name in Godot, which causes an allocation. Which IDE theme is that? It should be, I think, this command. Yeah, Atom1 Dark Vivid. And welcome in, Dapperwalkie. Yeah. So let's go to this again. Anywhere else that we do this? Is add child the only one that we could easily fix? I think so. Unless these are also string names. Are they? They are. Yeah. Okay. So we need that too. Okay. I'll just make a static string name class and I'll put a comment for why we're doing that. Are these also string names? Yeah, they are. Okay. Well, this isn't too bad. So prefer using string name values that are exposed statically. If you ever type code like this, it'll have to allocate a string name, which is an object. This hurts performance, especially if you do it in tight loops. Yeah. It's so as far as I can tell, there's no public listing of all the property name, method name, and signal name strings. I think they're generated code. So I filed this issue. Which may reveal something. But in the meantime, I plan to just make my own static string name class. So these allocations are all going to happen at load time, but they'll only happen a total of like 20 times instead of 20 times per frame. So it'll look a lot better. The other thing I kind of want to do here is I want to have some like reference build for performance. And then I want to try everything that I do here for this stuff. But yeah, let's go make a new thing here. Where shall we put you? Constants. That's probably pretty good. Okay. So let's go to UI constants and let's save this as, I want to call it string name, but then it's going to collide with the existing string. Oh, we can call it string names. Yeah, that'll work. Or like Godot string names. Yeah. I like that. Okay, let's do that. Godot string names. This class only exists so that we don't keep marshaling C# strings into Godot. Oh, nice. String names. Their own documentation advises usage of... Whoops, I didn't mean to click that. I meant to click copy link. Href equals that. Advises usage of these static string names for performance reasons. But I can't find some of these values. And others are dynamic. So we create them here. Okay, so now just delete everything that we have. And we're gonna make every single thing here just string names. Yep. So let's start with normal font size. Normal font size. normal font size. That's all this file has to be. It's just a bunch of these. Now we go into floating text and we search for normal font size. Oh, you know what? I should probably save off those search results. Yeah, let's get everywhere that this is a problem. These are not string names, are they? No, they're node paths, which I guess still has the same problem, right? Except that this is at least not representing just a string. It's created from a string. Yeah. But then they have to do something special. Okay, that's probably fine. I think that's probably fine. Actually, I'm not certain anymore. But we generally only do this in ready. So I think one of the issues we're going to have is that floating text is created all the time. We probably want to make a pool of these and then reuse the pool. We may want to use a pool of floating text. All right. So I kind of want to save this search off. Yeah, search for this. And in the meantime, normal font size. There we go. So we're going to change these to use Godot string names, normal font size. And the other one is located here. Cool. All right, now outline size should exist. Good. We need all of the other ones that we might have, which was in whatever I last updated. Yeah, this. So this would be italics font size. Godot string names, italics font size. Then bold. Outline size, yep. And let me just make sure that that was pluralized. Yeah, it was. All right, then shadow offset X and Y. Godot string names dot shadow offset X. Happy New Year. Yeah. All right, shadow offset X, shadow offset Y. Good. Let's just close out everything else. Whoops. Come on. Come on. How many tabs did I open? Bold font size. All right, so shadow offset X, we want the Y value as well. Godot string names dot shadow offset Y. Somehow this broke my syntax highlighting. Yeah, peace. Happy New Year to you too. Do you have, like, does everyone have New Year's off of whatever they have to do? I assume it's a federal holiday in most countries. Maybe not the ones that celebrate a Lunar New Year. All right, what is this one? Shadow outline size. Mr. Happy. Yeah, Happy New Year. Are you talking to YouTube chat? Yeah. It's a string of Happy New Year messages. Okay, and then font shadow color. This, if we never use anywhere else, probably shouldn't even be here because this is only used in the outro. I guess it's still good. Hey, Yusuf. We both had Lunar and Solar New Year's as holidays. Nice. Yeah, that's the way to do it. And hey, Abhijit. Working a team in a country. Working with a team in a country that celebrates the Lunar New Year. They're off this week too. Nice. Yeah, and thank you, hard worker. Imagine being in YouTube chat right now. Yeah, I feel like all of the Indian people are wishing you Happy New Year right now because of the time zone difference. That's generally the farthest east that I still have some regular viewers. Like, no one watches me from, well, actually, that's not true. I guess a couple people watch me from Australia, but not many. And what's the most like advanced time zone? Earliest time zone in the world. GMT plus 14. How many places use it? Interesting. Are most of your viewers from the West Coast? It doesn't tell me coast information, but it tells me the top countries, and it's typically US, Germany, and UK, I think. Let me take a look at what it is now. Analytics. Discovery. Where's it at? Here. Okay. Yeah. And it is currently those countries. So here's the last 30 days of data. Top country is by far the US, then Germany and UK. Canada's close behind, and everyone else is at 4% or lower. Where's India on this? 2%. Yeah, Australia doesn't show up here. There's no way to drill down any farther than this. So like Romania is the lowest one I can see. But yeah. So the odds of each of you being in one of these countries is moderately high. But yeah, this does not add up to 100%. So although maybe it doesn't have everyone's country information. I don't know if it's basing it on IP or self-reported country or what. All right, so we got to keep searching for this stuff. And let's keep doing this. So play on death. Even these are string names. Yeah, well, I don't really care for game outro, for example. Font switcher, I care about. Bold font, I think we have now. No, we don't. Bold font, italics font, bold italics font. Okay, so I want these three. Public, static, read-only string name. Yep. Should just suggest fixing these two. Good, good. Cool. Now we use those in here. Godot string names dot. And then we just make this camel case. Yeah, close enough. Yeah. Yeah, Andre, hey, Row. I'm the Romania guy. All right, this is also a string name, if I'm not mistaken. Theme type. So, theme type? Yeah, I guess theme type. Rich text label, button, and label. Rich text label. This one, wait. This one might exist. Let's go take a look at that. Rich text label dot property name. Did they have rich text label in here? Native name, there it is. Oh, it's private though. Why would they make it private? Why? Why would you do this? Oh man. Hey, H2P. I know nothing about programming. I understand nothing, but it's so relaxing to watch. Well, nice and welcome in. It's probably more based off of account location and not current IP. I wonder how that's actually tracked. I don't know. Like, if I were to go to India and watch someone stream, would I show up as a viewer from India? Because I would expect that to be the case. So I assume they probably do it based on IP address. But then, yeah, VPNs would confound this. Although, why would you use a VPN for Twitch if you're in, let's say, India? Because presumably you'd get more ads if you used a VPN coming out of the US. I don't know for sure that that's true, but I assume they care a lot about US advertising. All right, well, fine. This doesn't exist. Does it exist for anything? Native name? It probably exists and we just can't access it. Property name, button. Yeah, it exists for all of them and we can't access it. Is there anything that returns the native name? I doubt it. I probably would have seen it. Everything uses it. Ah, well, what are you gonna do? Is it like name or something? No, there isn't that. Name doesn't return anything else. Okay, well, then we just make it ourselves. So rich text label, button, and label. We need those at least. Rich text label. This one's capitalized. Button and regular label. Okay, now we plug those in here. Godot string names dot rich text. This is like that. And then font. We don't already have font. Font might actually exist somewhere. Theme, property name, font, no. Label, property name, font. Nope. All right, I give up. I don't care. I'll just have to continue to be American for now. The thing is, it's all reported in aggregate anyway. Like that picture I took was 30,000 views. So even if you somehow change your view to be in a different country, it's not probably going to change the stats. Enough people would have to do that. And there's no real incentive because I go months without even looking at those stats. So even if somehow it showed up as like 100% Russia tomorrow, I'd be like, no, well, not even going to see it. Just go on thinking that it's still US, UK, Germany. Godot string name dot font. Oh, names. All right, other search results. Let's keep going. Set shader parameter. Is this using string? It is. Oh, wow. Then I guess this does matter. Wow. So maybe I should have split this into like shader parameters somewhere. Because these are things that I make. Yeah. I wonder. Because we could make a public static class shader params. And add in our... Wait, does this still exist? No, these are fixed. All right, so like line width. And this one. All right, line width. And use alter line variation. This could break anything. Why is it yellow? Do not nest type shader params. Change accessibility so it's not externally visible. I want to nest it. I mean, I could just put it a... No, I can't do that. I want it to be under here. Wait, why not nest it? Externally visible type contains an externally visible type declaration. Nested enumerations, protected types, and builder patterns are exempt from this rule. Do not suppress a warning from this rule. How are you supposed to do this? Huh. I want to do Godot string names shader params. I mean, I know this is legal C#. It's just, and I could just ignore this. But yeah, I wish they mentioned why. I guess the other thing I could do is put this into its own namespace. I could preface this with shader params or something. Can I? No, I don't know. Yeah. All right, let me load up good old ChatGPT and just see what it suggests for this. So in C#, I have a public static class in which I want to nest another public static class, but I get CA1034. Why shouldn't I be nesting these classes? okay. Namespaces already solved the grouping problems. Yeah, I guess that's all I really want to do then, huh? Okay. Well, we can just put this into its own Godot string names and then move a whole bunch of stuff around. This is going to break some things. So these would be... No, I don't like this. I'm not going to do this. Whatever. Just back out of this. Yeah. Just delete this. Yeah, shader params follow. Now, this is actually the time to use a region, right? Shader parameters and region. So now you can collapse this if you want to. All right. Well, I'm not going to keep worrying about that. Line width. So this is Godot string names dot line width. Use ultra line variation. Even the actions, we eventually need to fix these too. Why didn't this show up here? Because there's no semicolon. Oh, God. That's not good. Yeah, that's not good. Game add-ons, I don't care about that. What does this do? String path. That's fine. Well, that's probably fine. Sound data. Where does sound data get used? Audio player, get. Check if it's rate limited. We eventually call play stream. So we need to load this. Load takes in a path. Oh, okay. Yeah, then that's fine. Set animation speed. It's so silly. Okay, this one I would kind of expect there to be something for this. Animation sprite or animated sprite 2D. Property name default. Animation name. Any other names? No, I don't think this exists. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. So we'll make something for this too. Animation names. Default. This is so silly. Then we need key names here, like UI debug. These you can have any name for. Input names. UI debug. So silly. All right, we could just search for all of those right now. I guess all is action pressed. We're gonna find them all anyway, though, right? How many of these do we have to work through? Oh wait, 65. That's not bad. I thought this was like 1,000. I didn't want to do 1,000 of these, but I don't mind doing 65 of them. So UI cancel, spelled correctly. Godot string names, UI cancel. All right, that one's done. That's done. Place start scene. I don't care about this. I don't care about any of the intro stuff. None of this happens all that frequently. So it doesn't really matter. This is not a problem. Use UI action menu. Okay. Godot string names. This one should just know how to fix itself. It's not going to do anything. Oh, no, it did. All right, so those are done. Line width is next. Yep. Then wheel up, UI zoom in, wheel down, and UI zoom out. All of these things over here. public static read only string name UI whatever. There. Yeah, it's good enough. That'll just picks it up. Oh wait. There. Oh, this has UI twice. So wheel up, zoom in, wheel down, zoom out. Let's pair them up like that. And then go fix all these. Those string names, wheel up. This one, zoom in. Cool. Done. Don't care. Wait, actually. Yeah, that's fine. V separation. I don't think we have this one already. Nope. V separation. It feels like I'm localizing things again. This is how tedious this is. All right, UI cancel, UI accept. UI accept we don't have yet. Good. Also good. How many more of these do we have? Wait, this looks like more than 60 something. Oh, it is more because I searched with the semicolon over here. We have 114 of these things. Not quite. In fact, if I do it this way, I think it should be easier. Yeah, we got rid of the intro stuff. That. So we have, what, 90 or fewer of these? Yeah, 90 of them. Okay, that's still not too bad. All right, so margin left, right, and top. Margin left, right, and top. Cool. Quick question. A crossword clue a few days ago that started with W in the word sword is silent. Or I felt it's not completely silent. Not silent in the same way that K in knife is silent. Do you agree? I think it's silent. Just pronounce that word. Would you say sword? Because then do you pronounce it the same as this? If so, that's proof that it's silent. In fact, I think you could also just take a look at the pronunciation guide. Yeah, it just says sword. And you could compare that against, so there's an O with a circumflex over it. You can compare it against, oh, it's not, sorry, that's not a word. Well, apparently it is a word. But yeah, same thing. So the difference between soar and sword is just putting a D at the end, according to the pronunciation guide. So yes, I think that fully categorizes it as silent. The L in walk is silent. Yes, because you're not pronouncing it. I think what you're getting at is that maybe some letters can change the pronunciation because of the like combination of letters used. I'm trying to think of an example for what I just said because what I said didn't make sense. But like through is pronounced like this, but it's spelled O-U-G-H. But then cough, you can't say that the GH is silent. It just doesn't make a G or an H sound. You would spell this like cough if you were to spell it like a normal person. Oh yeah, that's a good point, Sinistello. Thanks for putting me on guard again. So yeah, can you say the G is silent here? Can you say the H is silent? Probably not. So I think that's maybe what you're getting at, but I don't think it works with sword and walk. All right, this only gets done once, so I don't care about this. Note that there are some string names that are used only once in the entire game, so they're not worth adding here. These are more for, yeah, they're really important. There, it's really important to manifest string names here that are used often. I mean, according to the dictionary pronunciation, it is silent. I guess you could look at a different dictionary if you want, like Merriam-Webster, and type in sword. So here it says S-O-R-D, and there's a little thing on the O. And then again, you go type soar, and it's S-O-R, and there's a thing on the O. So there's nothing indicating that it should be pronounced any differently from just soar with a D at the end. I don't trust that thing. Okay, that's fair. I don't trust the dictionary either. Let's pronounce it sword. Broadsword. What is that from? It's some like old 90s video game advertisement or something. Some kid is excited he got a broadsword. It says broadsword. I don't know how those things catch on. All right, line color. This is a shader parameter. Line color. Good. Great. Oh, hey, nice. This is the same thing. Godot string names on line color. This is alter line over time. Both of these are apparently. Oh, that's interesting. Wonder how much faster the game is going to get as a result of this. Because I looked through some of this stuff, but not all of it yet. So here was an example of just doing string name repeatedly, and it took 1% of the time. So like 200 milliseconds is hopefully just going to get totally saved now. And this was out of whatever, 17 seconds. So again, not a gigantic percentage, but it's going to be across the whole code base. So anywhere else I see this sort of thing happening, like whatever this is, what is this? Oh, this doesn't help me. Oh wait, this is already the bottom up call. No other percentages are all that high. This is super high. I think I looked through these already. Whoa, what? 5 seconds? Are you kidding me? What is this doing? Add theme constant override from update position and floating text. Oh, man. So, like, the bulk of our performance issues are coming from this. Oh, man. Well, why, I wonder? I guess because we're changing it based on the camera zoom. So we should probably keep track of what it used to be and only change it if it actually changed. That makes sense. So this is going to be desired font size. And then actual font size. I don't know if this is a costly thing to do. Get theme font size, normal font size, and then if actual is not equal to desired, then do this stuff. Now we don't check the outline, but the only thing that actually sets the font size is right here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So if the font size doesn't match, the outline also wouldn't match. And as you do in the camera, this could change. But a lot of floating text is updated in Battle where you can't change the camera. So that it would just be totally pointless. And I think we've just bypassed a whole bunch of this, right? Man, that's crazy. It's much more logical than the I feel like it's wrong. So I have some French friends, IRL, that pronounce this as half. And I've told them, I'm like, hey, you don't pronounce the L in that word. And they're like, okay, gotcha. And then they haven't actually changed their pronunciation. But now I just appreciate how they pronounce it, even though that's not correct. You found a 5-second consumption. Yeah, I didn't realize. I don't know why I skipped over this. But okay, so there goes 5 seconds. Hopefully that fixes a lot of that. Now we look at this. This is add child for create floating text. So yeah, we should probably have a pool of these somewhere. This is a little bit less important, maybe. Yeah, this is maybe a little bit less important. Move child? Walk animation system? For the hands? Wow. I almost wonder, okay, wow, that's actually pretty interesting. If we wanted to cut this out, we kind of could. What we're doing here is we have like the skeleton body, and then we have skeleton hands, and we have the item, I think. So it's like the body renders first, then the item, and then the hands to render that they're holding the item. And we move these in some cases. Oh yeah, that's when they're walking downward, I think. But when they're walking up, I think we reverse this so that it goes like that. Does that make sense? Yeah, so the hands render first, and then the item on top of it, then the body. Anyway, so the problem that we're running into with this is that move child is apparently taking up 5% of our time. So if we wanted to, what we could do here is we could render our scene like this. So it always has a copy. Whoops, no, this way. It always has a copy of hands and item in the right locations. And then we just choose which 3 of these do we want to render at a time. But I don't care to that level of optimization. I don't think that matters that much. At least it's functionally doing something, unlike just, calling a string. Or a string name, I mean. This is update entity, yeah. Yeah, so that should get rid of quite a lot of this stuff. How do I, yeah, I'll finish working on this and then we'll test this out again. All right, so where do we leave off? Alter line over time. Godot string names dot alter line. Oh, that's not even the right thing. Oh God, I might have messed some of this stuff up. Oh, that'd be a crying shame. Because it might not be easy to find. Are these the same thing? Alter line over time? Yeah, they are. Alter line over time. Yeah, if anything's broken, we'll know it's because of this. Better try to accept all letters in a word instead of making some of them silent. Huh. Yeah. I saw something today on Bing.com actually, and they said something like, I forgot what the sentence was. Imagine if it's something like, I am walking to the store, and they just put a comma here for some reason. And I thought, man, there's probably a time, maybe like 30 years ago, where people would have been like, wow, that's super unprofessional. But now no one probably bats an eye at it. And I think it's just due to globalization of consumption. Like if you only had primarily English speaking people reading things and they were maybe primarily educated, then yeah, they might get put off by something like that. But if you have someone who learned English as a second or a third language, talking to someone who also used English as a second language but from a different country, they're going to probably use English incorrectly in different ways. And then eventually, after enough usage, it just becomes correct. Yeah. Hey, Kuriga. Question is completely random, but the way you're breaking down topics is quite impressive. So I thought, let's ask Adam. Here's my question. How would you start learning a new language? Do you mean coding or human language? Because there would be different answers for those, I think. All right, this one doesn't matter. What else do we have here? H separation and V separation. Okay, so we have one of these things already. We have V separation. I don't think I put H separation there. H. Human languages, for instance, Spanish, what I'm trying to learn. So my general problem with learning languages is I think I want an end goal. And my end goal should be like talk to people who speak that language or consume media of that language, something along those lines. And as a result, since I don't tend to have that end goal, I don't tend to retain what I've learned. But if I were trying to learn a language, I think the first thing I do is like make sure my end goal is there so that I stay motivated. So that's like number one. Well, that's not really how to learn. Then from there, I think I'd probably actually start with Duolingo just because it's easy and it gets you in the habit and it lets you know if you're enjoying the language at all. Although this part doesn't necessarily matter if your end goal is good enough. Like, who cares if you're enjoying the language? If you need to know it or if you want to know it, maybe just learning is tough and you don't necessarily need to enjoy the process. But then from there, I think I'd go into pretty quickly like finding some kind of tutor and probably just paying. Because there are a lot of questions that you have as you're learning something. And you also need someone who's going to just talk to you. Like at some point, you need to try producing the language. Duolingo doesn't force you to do that. And Duolingo is so heavily gamified that I don't think people tend to learn a lot while they're using it. They start out and they're learning, and then they just get in a habit. And that habit is not actually a learning habit. It's just a habit. It's like a game habit. So yeah, I think getting a tutor is pretty good. The last language I tried learning was Hindi. And I did get a tutor. This was many years ago. And I learned how to read and write. And then I learned like the basics of grammar. And then at some point it was like, okay, well now try speaking the language. But I was very shy about doing that. So I eventually kind of gave up. And I'd kind of distantly like to still learn it, but it's just not a top priority for me. All right. Anyway, I hope that helps answer the question. H separation. Cool. What else do we have here? Is extra line visible? Oh, Godot string names. Got it. All right, extra line color and extra line color 2. We don't have those. Isn't coding a human interpretation of a computer language? Yeah, but the way you would learn a coding language, like you never need to speak it. There's just reading and writing. Whereas with a human language, you probably want to learn reading and writing, but also how to speak it. And then a computer language is not something that you ever need to produce correctly on your first go. If you're in another country and you're trying to find the bathroom and you try like 17 times to start the sentence, the person you're talking to is probably just going to walk away. But if you do that with a computer, the computer doesn't care. The computer will just silently judge you. This should be extra line color. Why is it not? Huh, that could have been dangerous. Did we find the strings? Almost all of them. I also found a bigger problem that was going on, which I hope will be fixed, but I don't know yet. Spent 40 hours in less than a week on it. Wow. Yeah, they had a leaderboard at one point, and the problem with gamifying something is that the best way to win the game may not be the most effective way to experience the game. So with a literal game, the goal is usually to like have fun. And with Duolingo, the goal is usually learn a language. But when you have a literal game like Animal Crossing, and the best way to make money is by selling turnips, and that's not fun. Some people will still do that. And with Duolingo, if the best way to like climb the leaderboard is to just do exercises, then you're going to seek out easy exercises, which is probably not going to teach you anything. And then you can do more of those quickly. And maybe Duolingo has fixed that problem. It's been a while since I've used it. But back then it was like, well, just get stuff done. Just do a bunch of exercises. So you'd learn a lot of basics, but then you wouldn't learn grammar. You wouldn't learn the more advanced stuff. Hey, Cynical Dev. They also want to practice their English. Yeah, that's pretty common too. I didn't learn much other than ordering an orange juice. Someday you'll be in that country though, and you'll be like, I need an orange juice. And you'll be like, I know just the phrase. And won't that be fantastic? So Godot string names is extra line visible. All right, what else? What else? What else? What else? This is all fine, fine. This is UI cancel, Godot string names, UI cancel. All right, delete these. UI toggle buildings. Nope, I just got it for me, nice. All right, UI cancel and UI accept. Cool, this is an extra line visible. Yeah, once we already have most of these things there, this is a lot easier because the AI can just take over. This one's just font size. Oh, we don't have font size? Huh. Well, we'll need it. Cool. All right, I think we did all of these. Godot string names, UI wheel up. Good. All right, we're cruising through them now. Font color we don't have. Font color. Hey, Blue Pulsar. Yeah, Anki instead of Duolingo. This is the, like, I think it's a spaced repetition flashcard app. And I've tried this before. I think this is pretty good. I'm trying that. Difficulties at a certain point, mostly after 2 sentences, I get stuck in not being able to respond. Yeah, and I think that's what's tough about this, in that you have a thought going through your head, and like the translation process starts off as literal. Like, I want to say I live in the United States because that's in English, but I live in the country is not how every language says this. They might say I live at the country, or like I live of the country, or something like that. So I do think a lot of that is practice. There are these services out there, and they're not all paid services, that are like what was that site called? They're like what Omegle was, except for they're for learning languages. So it's like you speak English and want to learn Spanish, and then someone else has the opposite of this, and you get matched up and you try to talk to each other. I've done that a few times. Honestly, it's kind of awkward, and it doesn't help a ton. You need to really find someone who wants to help. And then I think if you become friends with somebody, then I think practicing is easier. But that's why I think having a tutor is nice, because they'll presumably know how to teach you this stuff. Man. All right, I'd like to be done with this. We're down to 49 of these. We're getting there. There we go. Oh, Blue Pulsar, thank you. Oh, it's a lot of gifted subs today. I appreciate it. Welcome in, everyone. Yeah. Hope you have a great New Year. Thank you. Yeah. I hope you do too. You know, I'm very smart in Spanish. This thought I've always kind of had when it comes to humor as well. I think there's a certain amount of eloquence and articulation you would need in a language to sound smart. But then to be humorous in a language, a lot of times plays on cultural references or puns or turns of phrase. Excuse me. And it can be hard to do that in another language. UI action modifier. Why is there a random space in there? Okay, let's replace that. Godot string names. All right, so now we have all of these. I'm going to just copy paste every single one of these over to here. And how many of these do we already have? None of them. Oh, Okay. All right, so does it know what I want to do with this? Public toggle inventory. What? Fine. There, and now hopefully it suggests to replace all these names. Good, probably good. Let's read them. Skill tree, battle panel, tab panel. Yeah. Elements should have the same indentation. Yeah, now they do. Okay, and since I put them in that order, I think we can just replace all of these as action pressed with that and have it work, but I'm definitely going to need to review this. See numerous previous examples above. I think with a proper sword in hand, I think you'd speak the language better. Max radius? Wonder how often this happens. This particular shader is only used here. So maybe I should just make string names in this class. Kind of want to do that. Where do you put private static stuff? Private static string name. Max radius. I hope that was right. Because I'm not going to be reading through any of this, am I? And then fill color, border. Yeah, nice. Okay. Let's keep going. Use action menu. Nice. That exists. Camera, right, left, whatever else. I don't think I made these. No, I didn't. Public static. Why am I typing this? Camera. What's on my clipboard? Right. Okay, now on left, up, down. UI camera right. Left, down, up. Wander region doesn't matter. Probably doesn't matter, actually. It is a string name. Yeah, let's do it. You can't overpronounce it. Watch me. Group names. Wander region. Godot string names. Yeah. All right, we're almost at the end of this. Nice. Now UI up, down, left, and right. Let's just copy paste all of these and remove the word camera, and I think we're done. Oh, and then also the double underscores. All right, so Godot string names UI up, down. Do we have left and right here? We don't. Huh. I wonder if those are used anywhere. Let's search for it. Oh, I can't search for it right now. Well, I could. UI down. I never use it. We never use it in the project. We define it, and we don't do... Oh, wait, no. No. We do that. It was UI right and left that I wanted to search for. No, so we technically don't ever manifest those. I think that's fine, though. We're almost finished. I wonder how much this is going to help. Oh, we don't have this here. Tab perks next and tab perks previous. Good. and suggest it to me. Good. All right, so font size and outline size. I think we have both of these. Font size, outline size. Cursor left, up, right, and down. We don't have those either. These are, yeah. Why cursor? Oh, for the mouse? The virtual cursor, right? Cursor. Oh no, it's not UI. Uh-oh. I hope I didn't break this somewhere else. Well, we'll find out when something just randomly breaks. So left, right, up, down is the order this needs to be in. Cursor left. Really? Cursor right, up and down. Yeah, perfect. And they match. And then cursor click. Wonder why I didn't preface those with UI. Cursor click. Good. This doesn't matter. And this doesn't matter. Great. So those are all done. Let's try building. I hope it works. I wouldn't just break the entire game. It built. So now let's try all the shortcuts. M for the battle map. T for adventurers. P for perks. B for buildings. WASD. We should be able to press up and down here. And apparently also, no, not the camera buttons there. Then if I plug in a controller, I should be able to move the mouse. Uh-oh. Oh, there it goes. Yep, seems reasonable. I can move the camera. I can open the settings. Is something going wrong there? Felt like something jittered. All right, can I press A on that? And B on that, yeah. Nice. Okay, cool. What else? Loading text and everything. All right, so I want to do another profile of this and see how this improved. So here was our old profile that we had. And, whoop, no, I don't want to do that. I can't drill into that anymore, can I? All right, so now we take a new profile. Skeleseller2.net trace. So we're going to load from the save. We're going to start 2 battles. I'm going to try to do this roughly how I did before. I think I did that and that. And then I sped this up to like 2.3 and then I just let it run. Anything odd going on with text? No, looks fine. Oh yeah, what about in the world? We don't have, I guess we could, yeah, that. Floating text, nice. Although, oh, it was customer text. When customers buy things, which we need to add some more customers, that floating text should be much more performant now. So we'll let this run for a little bit longer. And then I want to look at the perf trace at the end of this simulation. Yeah. Okay, let's go try it. So now I want to open a new Chrome tab and open up that performance trace here. Skeleseller 2. Okay, and I want to look at just the end of this. Like thereabouts. Bottom up. What are we looking at? So how much time are we looking at? About 17 seconds again. That's pretty good. And the bulk of the work came from here. which I can't do anything about, I guess. C# instance bridge.call. So now we're spending a quarter of our time in this. What is this? Walk animation system update entity. What part of this is causing a bunch of time? Does it let me drill down into this more? No. It must be coming from move child, but I don't see that in the stack. Wait a second. Self time and total time. Total time. No, wait. Why? How would it be this much? Also, do we need to do this on every frame? Can't we do this in physics process? All right, I'll need to look at that. Look at that later. What else do we have here? Navigation system, Pathfind. I don't know if I could speed this up necessarily. How often does this happen? Every frame? Yeah, physics process. And I'm guessing the difficult part for this to do is get next path position, because the rest of this shouldn't be too bad. I'd like to drill into that more. I'm not sure how we do that. Oh, wait, maybe we can find it. Hang on, can we find it by clicking one of these? And then look at call tree in here? No. Set visible. Set visible is costly? Hide, show. Should be in the walk animation system. Yeah, here. I guess because it needs to go from C# into Godot here. I would expect this to be fast. I mean, it might be fast. Maybe I'm misunderstanding what's going on here. How do I get back to my original slice of this that I want to see? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I somehow... Huh. Yeah, I don't know what I'm looking at. This is only a very tiny chunk. I'm looking at this. I want to look at... Oh, maybe I have to click that. Yeah, I think that did it. But I think this is for the entirety of the program. Yeah, I just want the ending bit. How do we do that? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, I don't know how I messed this up. Let's just reload the whole thing, I guess. And look at that. No, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Wait, there it worked. I had to click the thread apparently. Huh. So if I shrink this, oh, now it's just updating automatically. Well, whatever's selected, I selected the right thing. Make undivided display. Yeah, so none of this stuff has anything important there that I can look at. Yeah, nothing there, I think. This is 16% of the time. So navigation system and walk animation system are both slow, apparently. Process abilities is too. What is that doing? That's for battles. Why? I mean, I guess this does everything. So it probably makes sense that that's taking up that time. Anything else that's surprising here? Use basic attack. It's taking 6% of the time. It could be any of these things. And I would expect it to maybe be that. I don't know if there's an issue though. Get wander target. Destination function. Get wander target. Get nodes in group. This must be slow. We should probably cache those because the rest of this function should be very fast, I think. We randomly pick one and then we get a random point within it, which how does that work? Yeah, it just gets a rectangle and randomly picks a point. I think that should be fast, and I bet this is slow. Get nodes in group. Why isn't there a way to see that that's where this is converging and that there's a problem? Deal damage. Deal damage might be slower because it's creating text. Yeah, this is why I think it might be slow. All the different create text that it can do. Anything else? Oh, we still have strings being used. What is this? Huh. Walk animation system is still using string names, I guess, for this thing here. Yeah, animation name.toString. This is a problem. Nothing's easy. We need to cache the string names somewhere and look them up. Could just use a switch. I'm still not totally sure I'm interpreting all this data correctly. First of all, is there a way to tell which stack I'm looking at or which trace I'm looking at? I don't know if there is. One of these is Skeleteller 1 and the other one is Skeleteller 2. And I don't see anything in the title there. I'm guessing it's just whichever. I can't even tell which one's open last. Oh, but I could tell which source tab is open. So if I close this one, it should have closed the other one. It doesn't do that. All right, well, I don't know then. Let's just reopen everything. Yeah. That way I'm for sure looking at the right thing here. All right, so let's take a different chunk of time. Bottom up. Click this. All right, so how do I interpret this? Total time used here is 90%. But is this like active time spent? It must be. No, wait, maybe it doesn't have to be? I don't know. These are all these calls that are happening? I don't know. I don't know if I just like turned off the walk animation system, for example, what would happen? Wouldn't I just see something else using all of the time? Like, is the goal to get this to not add up to 100%? Because I don't think that's possible. That's the part I'm not understanding. Like, how do I know that I've improved the performance? Hey Nords, what's this? This is a performance trace I took of the game that I'm making. And you can see all the different calls here and you can see how long they all take. And I'm trying to see any patterns for like what can I improve, but I'm just not totally sure what I'm doing exactly. And we've made a bunch of improvements already. And that's what I'm wondering about. Like even this change I made right here. So we used to just always set this no matter what, and now we check to see does it need to be set. This used to take like 33% of the time. Now I don't see it there at all. Can we search? Is there a search thing here? Oh, there's a filter. Okay, we could do that. So I could search for floating text. And yeah, now its process is taking very little time, at least in that chunk. What about over here? Just create. No, process. Here it is. It's taking about half the time, I guess. I think I'm reading that correctly. So update position got a little bit faster, maybe. I'm not sure. Well, I think we slightly improved the performance. I just don't exactly know how to tell, but let's check this stuff in. Either way, these are good things to do, and some of it even follows Godot's official advice. So we should probably do is switch this to... Oh, can we not do this? Side by side. I think you can only do this per file. Where's the button to do that? Didn't I make a thing like this? Yes, I did. So I have a shortcut for this. And I even remember what it is. How great. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Here we go. All right, so we want to verify that this is all correct. Yeah, UI debug. So all these names should match. And ideally the strings match too. Normal, italics, bold, outline, X, Y, outline size, shadow color. Bold italics, font, button, font label. Yep. I don't see any problems here, but I'm also maybe about a quarter of the way through this, and I think this is going to get pretty tedious. I wonder if I can have AI review this and tell me if there are any issues. Line color. Yeah, this stuff looks fine. Yeah, a lot of this should have gotten faster. I'd love for there to be some way for me to just have like a number that shows on screen and I can just see that number change with any of these commits that I make. Like frame rate sounds like it would be that number, but it's limited on some other factors here. And a lot of what I just changed is CPU time, which I guess should theoretically lead to more frames if I have VSync turned off. All right, well, I'll finish looking through this. Actually, this is going faster than I thought. I guess it took longer to make the changes than to review them. Up, zoom in, wheel down, zoom out, yeah. I accept, font color, looking good. All this is fine. Add child and call deferred. I should search for call deferred. I gotta remember that. Yeah, this is looking good. Let's go tree, battle panel, tab, yep. Town, all up, yep. Cool. All right, these are all yellow. So let's make these read only. And then these should match. Main border, sector, mouse position, fill, border selection. Yep. Oh, that looks good. cool. Still got to remember to look for call deferred. UI camera up, yep. UI up, down, camera up, camera right. Yeah. Nice. We're almost at the end. Font size, outline size, cursor. Oh, this is UI. It's technically, well, I guess it's fine. Cursor, click. And that's it, we're done. Because now we're in the trace files. As long as there's nothing beyond the trace files. No, there isn't. So if I go check this stuff in, and I delete my trace files, maybe we should move those somewhere rather than delete them. I mean, I could also just revert the commit. Do I have this open? I don't have this open. All right, so let's go find that profiling thing. I'm going to move all of these into temp profiles from 12/31/25. All right, great. Now we can just delete them. Move to trash. Oh, radial menu changed. Oh, yeah. Okay. So what was I going to do? Oh, yeah, call deferred. Whew, almost forgot. Yeehaw. All right, what do we have here? Interesting. Name of contextual tip.set text. This is only an init. I don't care about that. I don't care about either of these. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Improve performance. There are two main things that I did here. One is use string name instead of C# strings, and two is only update floating text position if it was needed, or only update the theme if it was needed. Yeah, this is based on having profiled the game and finding the top contenders for perf impact. Ooh. All right. Well, I think it got better. I wonder if I should just try my Chromebook later and see if it still sounds like it's on fire. The other changes I need to make were these. I'm going to probably save that for later. This is done. This is, yeah. This is all today. I left some of these issues. Oh, yeah. I just need to tackle those. But this regeneration system iterating over Node 2D adventures in town, that should have been something I could have seen in my profile there. Like, I'm still kind of confused at how this works. If we look at the regeneration system, it is iterating over all of the adventurers every single frame. And the way it's doing this is not very smart, because I didn't realize it wasn't very smart. It's, where's that function? Here. It's getting a node in Godot, getting all of its children, and then iterating over them. This call is not very performant, apparently. And I don't need to call this every frame. I could just store the adventurers in a list or something. In fact, it would improve quite a lot. I just didn't know this was that bad. And I'm still not totally sure what that bad means. Is it like a noticeable slowdown for people? Is it just showing up in the profiler because something needs to be at the top? So yeah, I don't know. The other thing we could do is just not update this every single frame. We could just slow it down to once every like 1/10 of a second. That would also improve things. All right, well, let's move on to the next thing for now. Probably change this to be able to look up. Yeah. Note, this did not show up in profiling necessarily, so it may not be a big deal, but I would probably need to profile in bone mode. Isn't the checking of the type the slow part? No, probably not. Because this is an O of N operation that should just be able to compare types. I think the problem with any Godot thing that we have specifically is like we're in C sharp and Godot is in C++. So there needs to be some marshaling between the languages such that what looks like it should be a fast call is not necessarily a fast call. And that kind of goes with almost anything you can do in Godot. And that's why in those charts that we saw, which I got to go open again. Let me load this really fast. Where did I save it? Profiles, I think. Yeah. So we load this up. The number one thing that we see anywhere here is this. Godot bridge, C sharp instance bridge call. This is taking up the most time, like by far. I don't think there's anything we can do about that. And then, yeah, this sort of thing, like bind to a particular method. Total time. Yeah, actually, what if I just look by this? Yeah, so here's my code. Yeah, update entity is taking quite a long time. I'll have to look into that. Navigation system, ability system, create floating text, pathfinding. Anything here that stands out as like strange? Quick strike. Okay, that's strange. Oh, maybe just because it's used so frequently. Yeah. And because it needs to create text. Instantiate scene taking 4%. Life bar dot process. That's another thing that's a little bit strange. Set value, no signal. I guess in fetching these things, we're fetching them from Godot. We could maybe fetch them from an underlying health component and not check this value. Yeah, maybe. I don't think it's worth looking into that right now, though. Regeneration process. All right, well, I'll cut that out for now. People do want to see the number of battle windows they can have open at a time right on the battle map. Decent amount of feedback on that we should just do it. We need to add a string if we're going to do this. I think I should probably just stop streaming for now. It's been 3 hours. I haven't taken a break. We've made some good progress. Wasn't exactly on what I thought, but we're still just chugging through this list. But anyway, this last thing on the list that we had here was when people start a battle. So now we have one window open. Nothing tells you that you have 1 out of 3 windows open. And I'm not even totally sure it's a good idea to put it anywhere. I'm not sure people will notice. And they eventually do realize, oh, you can only have 3 of these. So like if I open up another one and another one. So now we have all 3 open. I can undock these and put them wherever. And when you try opening another one now, it's going to close one of the existing ones. And it does say this here. You already have the maximum number of battles open. Starting a new battle will close the oldest one for you. So now I started a new one and it closed the one that had the mage in it. But if we did show like battles ongoing, 0 out of 3, I think I'm just going to delete this. Yeah. All right. Well, we made it through a bunch of these items. Let's go fill out the journal. This is the final journal entry for this year. Then I'm going to go make a new tab. Spent a decent amount of time on performance investigations and fixes, especially around string name. Only streamed in the morning. All right, so new tab. Rename 2026. And now copy this. Entries 2026. And do one of those. And I don't know about that. Oh, I didn't even do that here. Is that always showing? It's not always showing. Huh. Interesting. I wonder why I didn't always have it show. Yeah, I think that's nicer. All right, so what happens if I do this now? And press this shortcut. Oh, nice. It worked. Cool. All right, well, we'll fill that out tomorrow. So yeah, I must start marketing and content creation. All right. Well, that's it for me. If any of you would like to try the game, the demo's there. I just updated it yesterday. Well, not in like any major way. Let's go raid Kitboga. Wish him a happy new year. Yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you have a happy new year. I'll be back tomorrow. It'll just be for the morning. And I want to get to marketing stuff starting tomorrow. Got to make sure this game is successful. Take care, everyone. Have a good one.